That's better. Hello, everybody. It's Car City here. Today I'm going to be welcoming you to the car train. No, it's the train car. But today I'm going to be Train City Adventure Lessons because I'm not going to be talking about some cars today. I'm going to be talking about trains today. But Thomas is number one, so we'll start with him. Thomas is actually just a terrier. It's just made to be like a terrier. Just the only thing I can do with him is just put a Play-Doh brass steam valve. So I think that's what's it called. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but it won't stick well. After this video, I'll stick it on much better. But it's not much of a story. Just one Thomas squishy model and a piece of clay from Rebecca. So I made the series intending for a little updates on characters. I'll be updating Percy. My first models and trains were Thomas the tank engine himself, Percy the small engine, Gordon the big blue engine, and James the red engine. Oh, and Eli, who was an original character, along with Becky. But we'll get into them when we get to them. Actually, I'll just be talking about him, Toby, and Toby in a separate video. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, today I'll be talking about Thomas, but not just about this piece of clay on Thomas' body. We'll also talk about Thomas's backstory. I don't like E2. The real life E2s look terrible. Sorry about those manufacturers. The J70s just don't suit Thomas, and just to be more fun, I decided to make a backstory of its own. And here's the backstory of the Car City version. Shush! The Car City backstory of Thomas the Tank Engine. Thomas worked for the LNER as a J70. He used to just stunt. And fun fact, Gordon and Thomas and the other 6 famous engines knew each other at the time, along with Toby as well. He was soon greeted by Wilbur and his family one rightful day. No, this is not realistic. Sorry so much, but this is how he got his name. But Thomas was just called 70. Christopher's model Thomas. Christopher holds his model called Thomas and says he looks like him. He looks just like him. So Thomas was given his name by Christopher. The rest is history. But not really. When Thomas had a massive crash the next week, this would be Thomas and the trucks. But unlike Thomas and the trucks, he would getting into a severe truck crash, which would fly out of the bumpers and into the ground. He would need a rebuild, so he decided, and some of his parts were not needed, couldn't be found. Old Thomas would never exist ever again, and actual Thomas would actually just stay away on the light of the real world and never to be seen again until one fateful day. Thomas was told he would get a rebuild, but in what engine? He was surprised to be rebuilt in 22. He groaned at it first, but seemed to like it. He came to the end of the soldier to work on the Farquhar Railway. Thomas had steaming issues due to the hills and mountains of the Farquhar Railway. And since it was just a little, and since they only had 3 engines to do all the work, you can see how Thomas could do it all. In my universe, Daisy did not come to Fire Conference. She would be a new design who would come after the events of the Sorcerer's Legend of the Lost Treasure, which wouldn't take place until 2001. This story takes place in 1923. So Thomas was soon sent to Coventry Books. Fun fact, Sir Topham was the one who built Mavis and Buddy. And he was the first to invent the diesel type, but just called them smokers because they had diesel inside them, like a car. But the engines called them diesels. The name soon stuck. But anyways, Thomas was soon rebuilt into a terrier. Why did I choose a terrier? Because, well, Thomas would definitely... Because many terriers still exist, and I don't know why the illustrator depicted Thomas as a need too. If you ask me, they look quite similar. The only difference is they have a brass steam valve. At least I think that's what it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's kind of like Stephanie wore. And I'm going to have to redo this model, but... Anyways, Thomas the Tank Engine was built. And he would stay as a terrier for the rest of his life. Wilbur Audrey respected that. Wilbur Audrey respected that as the illustrations went on. But it didn't bother to change. But it didn't get changed until Thomas Goes to Breakfast story. Yep. And I wish they adapted Thomas Goes to Breakfast as an actual TV story in CGI. It would be really funny. But anywho, Thomas was bought along with the other engines, as I told you. This isn't my actual backstory. In fact, you can change it in whichever way you want. Some are so strict they would keep it Thomas as a need to. Some are some would just wouldn't care and just would keep Thomas as whatever they please. And then there's me, who picks Thomas as a terrier type. I know this is the weirdest one. Oh! Thank you all for joining me on this new series. And I think Thomas does too. As for future projects, I want to make Rosie and Molly. I want to complete Rosie and Molly, the other TV series Diesels and Railway series Diesels, Snow the Scar Lily and Miniature Engine Fleet. But as for the Mountain Fleet, I'm just not in the mood to do it yet. We'll see what time happens. Enjoy the next one, which will be on our fateful number 2, Edward. But thank you all for joining me on this delightful day, and I'll see you all in the next one.